Hello, and welcome to Echo. Now, this will be just a quick look for now, since I recently finished Domineko and this just released, and man, I saw it, and I saw the trailer to it, and I thought, fuck me, I have to play this game. The premise looks really goddamn great. So I decided to record a bit of it as quickly as possible and put it out there, and maybe, if enough people like it, I will make a series out of it for my second slot, you know. But for now, let's just start the game. The flesh and the soul shall enter the palace through separate doors. Only the strong of mind and body will again reunite us all.
All our songs were about it. A magical place of life without end. A palace of untold wonders. But only for the worthy. So our lives were desperately dedicated to qualify. Pinpoint perspective on the great reward. Only I never wanted to go. Those words alone could mean death. So when I ran, I knew it meant never stopping to catch my breath. If I wanted to live. And so it was. Yet here I am. The place I spent my whole life escaping. I feel like shit.
Of course you do. Your wound has healed. The pain is from the stasis and will pass within a week. The nausea will linger, probably intensify when you start to realize that more than 100 years have passed. Everything you knew is gone. This is not another one of your running away from home excursions. Your grandfather won't send someone to pick you up this time. That's all gone now.
So you decided not to like me. But you've had a century to plan what to say, and that's it? How about you screwed up the best deal we ever had, or you come waltzing in here giving orders, or even Foster died because of you, you stupid bitch. I don't like me much either. But I can fix this. I can bring him back.
I have to say, I can fix this is one of the best motives games can have. I love it. I love it when you try to make things right.
I don't know how you hope to achieve that, little miss, but I suggest you start your efforts by laying back down. Loss of motor skills is common even for experienced long haulers, which I suspect you are not.
I suppose you had a long time to mull things over. Nothing I can say will change your mind.
Okay, so the controls are pretty basic by now. I like the design of our protagonist. I know, or well, let's rather say I don't know if she's female because she has to be, or because it seems to be a common trend among game developers these days. You know, with Horizon Zero Dawn and what was its name? I Am Setsuna, the game which deleted your save file when you were too bad to beat the basic Dark Souls-esque combat. But I really like the design of her. She looks kind of royal. I like the short hair. I don't care if I play a female or a male protagonist because, let's be honest, no one should care. We shouldn't enforce either agenda, really. Just play what fits the story. I don't know. I think... Oh my god, look at the shadow quality. Maybe I shouldn't have bumped it down to medium. Maybe I should have let it stay high. Because this isn't medium, this is low. I think this is Unreal Engine. because it looks pretty awesome while not taxing my system too much. So, what's the story so far? We've been asleep for 100 years. Everyone we knew and loved is gone. It seems we
So where
made
is he?
some
He?
bad decisions.
Oh, you mean the cube? Yes, I had a very good look at that while you were asleep. I think you're in for a disappointment. Nothing suggests any sentience. No interface to access the thing, nor any reason to do so. There's nothing in there. It's just a pretty cube.
If we knew how to operate it, we wouldn't have had to come here. This is how I see it. You don't answer to my orders, and yet you took us this far, so clearly I'm not the only one hoping that I can achieve something. I can work with that.
Not hope. Respect. For Foster. God knows why, but he wanted me here. The stupid lighter proves it. I suspect staying wasn't even an option, considering how you stumbled on board covered in blood, demanding departure a week ahead of schedule.
Yeah. Respect, then. That'll work too.
Okay. Yeah, we did something wrong. It seems we fucked up pretty badly. I don't know who we are talking to, if it's an AI of the possibly spaceship or space shape station we are, or if it's a real person, because who could survive 100 years without being in cryogenic sleep themselves, you know? I guess it's an AI. A pretty human like. And the catch. Oh, Rose Leslie as Anne. Yeah, you might know her out of, well, I don't know, Game of Thrones? She's the one that said, "You know nothing, Jon Snow." But well, yeah. Anyway, the catch of this game is the game shapes to how you play it. And while I know that many games have claimed this to be true for their gameplay, what I've seen so far seems to be that this game really achieves that, which is one reason I wanted to play it. I'm not a big fan of stealth games or something, or parkour games like Mirror's Edge, but this looked like I could shape it to be a game I quite enjoy. And I like the art style of it, the really clean space art style. Not so gritty like the Alien ones, you know, but really futuristic and yeah, clean. Clean is the best word for it. Clean and sterile. Okay, so this is a cube, and we were talking about a cube. Well, another cutscene.
I need a suit.
Mako, that's the name of the game. So we were on a space station.
Ice.
It's not ice. I don't know that we can even trust what we see. This whole planet eluded detection until about a week ago. No visual cues, no gravitational pull, nothing. Even with the exact coordinates, I nearly missed it.
We're looking for a palace.
Why am I not surprised?
Give it a rest, will you? Can you see any structures on the planet?
You're looking at it. It's all one big structure, planet-wide. No palace, though. I'm guessing it's some corporate state's illegitimate mining project from the pre-requisition rush. That would explain the heavy clouding measures. The planet is most likely depleted of all resources. An empty shell. Hope the old man didn't pay too much for the coordinates.
You have no idea. Just get me down there. I'll go see for myself.
Okay, so far still pretty cryptic, to be honest. I don't know why we would land on that planet, what we are really looking for. But I hope it's worth it.
You should get off the surface too.
Oh wow, we look
A
amazing.
strange place.
And we leave
Impressive,
footprints in the snow.
really.
I can't get over the jaggy shadows, but I won't change it now.
I'm
because...
enabling the suit's assist mode to compensate for your inexperience.
Oh. Because shadows usually are the thing that put a strain on your system the most, you know. Interact.
There's something here. It must be some sort of release mechanism. Did you hear that? It's definitely doing something.
Yeah, there's a hatch here or something. Oh, maybe I should... Oh, come on. Oh, okay, so I run anyway, and holding shift makes me walk slower. So I need to use all of these mechanisms, I guess. I really hope I can get to some real gameplay in a reasonable amount of time. Okay, so they're all released. Do I
Look,
just...
there's an opening down there. It's too far to jump though.
The suit will soften your landing if charged sufficiently.
And if not?
It will stop you from leaping.
Oh, okay, so I can't do anything wrong. Space descent.
The suit reads your intentions from your synaptic activity and receives commands from your voice or eye movements. A bit archaic, but Foster trusted that suit with his life.
Cutting edge doesn't go well with space travel. The journey here alone made the suit an antique.
It's not the suit's performance that worries me.
This is archaic? Seriously? Okay, suit energy, cell meter. Suit stores energy in cells. Cell cost. The cell cost of any prompted action will be highlighted yellow. If you do not have enough charge for the action, the empty cells needed will blink yellow. Auto-charging cell. The suit's core cell auto-recharges, harnessing ambient energy. This means that if you wait, you will always have one cell at your disposal. Okay, so you can do the most basic actions, I think. Can I jump that? I guess I can. No, I can't. Fuck.
It's falling apart.
Was
The
that
old
just
exchange
snow? or-
warped. I wonder how long it's been here.
A composite like that should last forever, but it all looks ready to crumble.
It must be ancient.
So where really do we have to go? Crouch. Control. I guess we need to descend even further,
This place was
so...
made for humans. It's not just a machine line.
Most digs have a basic infrastructure if human presence should be needed. Probably also rudimentary living quarters. Doesn't mean anyone was ever here, though.
Gramps believed the place to be untouched by humans. A palace built by long-lost technology, patiently awaiting its first human inhabitants.
I think this is a dead end.
And you figure this is no more than a bootleg mining operation. Got to appreciate the contrast.
I generally lean towards plausible explanations. Your grandfather, well, everything he believed in he made up himself.
I don't know about that. He had the coordinates right.
Look around you. This obviously isn't a palace.
Your man might have gotten some aesthetic details wrong, but he wasn't the kind of person who'd risk everything without some kind of proof.
I really wouldn't get my hopes up.
How do I turn down the volume on the commentary track?
You are overconfident. Immature people often are. You should be taking notes every time I open my mouth.
Can I jump this one? No. Okay, so this whole thing is a dead end now? Maybe I can get down over here with this one. So far it isn't quite the riveting gameplay, isn't it? It's just walking around, sometimes slowly, even though you could go faster. I know you're afraid of falling down, but geez, girl. You could still walk at least a little bit faster. I mean, you're wearing a fucking spacesuit.
Slippery.
Kinda reminds me of Tomb Raider right now.
What exactly are these structures then? Have you seen others like them since you're such an expert?
I've had my fair share of halls based on wild speculation. It doesn't matter if it comes from desperate need or delusions of grandeur. There's never anything there but bitter disappointment.
Was this with Foster?
Before Foster.
I got the feeling you two have been together for ages.
I've been crisscrossing the spur for 1,000 years. Foster was with me for a century and a half.
Who the hell is this guy? I love his voice actor, but what is he? If he has been alive for 1,000 years, can it be an AI? Not quite sure. And again, is this a dead end? I'm also not sure about that. Oh, what was that? Huh, weird. Oh, look. I can go through here. Imagine working... Oh my god. Oh, jeez. Imagine working in this place. It's worse than the Death Star, isn't it? Okay, that kinda scared me.
If you've only been with Foster for a century and a half, you hardly knew him at all. I mean, we've been traveling together for a century, and we only just met.
100-year haul is quite the extreme. Foster's longest was 16. I knew him plenty.
He trusted you, and said that I could too, that you would help me.
Foster didn't leave me much choice. You don't mess up a job for your grandfather and then team up with the person you were sent out to get in the first place.
You could have just handed me back.
You really are naive.
I think you're doing this because you believe there's a chance to get your friend back.
You're so caught up in your homemade religion that you're oblivious to common sense. I warned Foster about you resourcefuls. Best not to deal with your kind.
Why did you then? Get involved, I mean.
Foster disagreed. And gold makes for a powerful argument.
Again, pretty cryptic since we don't know anything about the universe this takes place in. But if it gets expanded upon, it could be either a basic sci-fi setting or a really good one. I like that. Time seems to play not that big of a role. Apparently. Depending on who you are, I guess.
There must be a way inside down there. That looks like some kind of landing bay.
It looks like nothing of the sort.
You know, you're nothing like I expected from a friend of Foster's. Such an odd team.
An old rescue vessel from the Requisition and a man without a past. None of our marks knew what hit them. And then we were gone. The stuff we pulled off. You wouldn't believe it.
I believe it. I was one of your jobs.
A thieving rich kid with a gambling problem hardly qualifies. I got the brief. Not much of an extraction, really. No one giving a shit about you where you dug down. Only challenge Foster could see was that your grandfather wanted you to willingly hand back whatever it was you stole from him.
You're wrong about everything. Even Foster.
I seriously doubt that I am. He was good, Foster. Always had his eye on the ball. You may think you knew him, that he felt sorry for you, but he would never let that happen. I don't know what went wrong that night, why Foster died, but I'm sure you don't understand much of it either.
Sorry, I didn't mean to threaten your romance.
Cute.
Oh my god, the dynamic between them already. Pull. We might as well.
It's stuck. I need
Let's try again.
Does the gun pack any punch?
Aim and shoot. Costs 1 cell. Wow.
Wow. I like it.
I'm taking the gun offline to preserve energy.
Yeah, holy shit. It cost us half of our energy, basically. Half of our maximum energy, at least.
I'll be damned. Are you getting all this?
I'm with you.
Man, this looks great. God damn it, if all games look like this.
It all looks completely untouched.
The only thing missing are some reflections of N. Oh, she took down her visor. That's a nice touch, or at least we can look through it now. She didn't take it down. It got see-through. So is this an elevator? No? Who would have built this and for what purpose?
You were right about the palace. What's the plan now?
We get Foster back, and then we leave.
I was hoping for something more specific.
I suppose we're looking for some sort of apparatus like the one Gramps had.
Would that be the Soul Sucker?
I'll know it when I see it.
Even if you did find the thing, this place is dead. What mythic technology might be here is now useless.
We just need to power her up. Tell her that we're here. I can feel this is going to work out just fine.
Shouting.
Hello? Anyone home?
I'm moving down. There must be some sort of power below the halls.
Anyone home? Hello?
Hello.
Shouting. Is that your plan?
Anyone home?
Man, such a huge place being empty is really creepy on in its own way, isn't it? Oh, that's a...
Anyone home?
It's a mirror. Okay. Let's take a look in the mirror. Oh, well. We look kinda cute, I think. Cute enough, I'd say. But more than that, we look badass in that suit.
I recognize these. They look like the stone faces at the gates between the garden terraces. Maybe it's a door of some sort. We called them gatekeepers. They were supposed to make us ponder if we were worthy to pass.
You're not getting through without power, and this place is dead.
Okay, so we're down here now. Does this get us anywhere, or are there only closed doors here as well?
Look at that. It's a voice.
It looks
What?
like a tuning fork.
Yes, obviously. The resourcefuls call them voices. Strike them and let the true tone interfere to find clarity and enlightenment.
Ah, of course.
What does that mean?
The suit detects a pattern to the sound, and the decryption is kicking in.
Let's strike it again. Is there anything to that, or Is it just like a tutorial saying we should strike these things if we find them, because there could be secrets hidden in them? Otherwise, let's just keep descending. What's this?
I bet that's an activation mechanism for the door.
And how do we do that? You gotta help me here, Anne. It's my first time playing this game.
This is meaningless. Foster is dead. Some things just cannot be undone. Think about it. If you could capture the souls of the dead in a cube, and then bring the person back to life, surely it would be a huge industry.
It's not like that. I know for a fact that he's in there.
I have wondered how you came to believe that. But I doubt that I'll agree with your reasoning. You resourcefuls are too far removed from reality to make sense. You've seen nothing but the bought and paid for fairy tale designed by your grandfather.
Well, the reality of my fairy tale upbringing was that it was all about this place. No, even before that, my genes. Graham spent centuries creating his resourcefuls, carefully picking potential from the gene pool. We were created to come here, and this feels very real to me.
Man, this story is getting even weirder. So we're a clone, genetically engineered to be, I don't know what, but it seems we were meant to come here. What is this?
Now, these I know. We had rings exactly like them in the gardens.
The suit detects a small gravity charge inside the scepter.
Perhaps it can power the big door. The pedestal looks like the activation mechanism.
Okay, so any quick way to get back to where we came from?
Just out of curiosity, what's the higher meaning of keeping scepters displayed inside huge rings made of gold? It does seem a bit much, even if you are filthy rich.
The rings were not for show. They are part of our training.
Oh, and you do what exactly? Step inside and feel wealthy?
Not quite. The rings spin up, and the challenge is to get out in one piece. At first, staying in there is the only sane thing to do. But as the hunger comes, the rhythm of the spinning starts to sink in. At some point, you realize that starving eats away at your chance of making it out. Then the leap. No, wait too long.
Right. You almost had me going there for a while.
Okay, so there's nothing up here. So we are not only genetically engineered, we are also trained to perfection, I think. So we are this awesome, badass, female, clone, big boss, basically.
By the
Big
way,
boss and female.
I don't know if you noticed that there were no other exits from this pit than the big door. How I hope the scepter will magically make it open.
It will work.
Must be nice always feeling that the world will act in your favor. It doesn't, though. My guess is that you will learn this momentarily.
No, fuck off. Don't be a negative Nancy.
Now, let's see.
Nothing. What a shock. Looks like you might be joining Foster after all, just not the way you imagined.
I don't get it. What Gramps did to hundreds of resourcefuls for this? I saw it the day I came to you. The subject lies down on a marble surface with a strange silver pattern. And the silver unfolds, pierces the skin, and slithers inside. In about half an hour, it consumes everything. And all that remains is an empty slab of marble and a newly formed cube.
No.
He called it the translation. The flesh and the soul shall enter the palace through separate doors. We said it 1,000 times, never realizing. I didn't catch Foster's soul in a magical cube. He was dying, and I translated him.
You killed him. The fact that your grandfather did unspeakable things doesn't prove he was right. That Foster can come back, that's insane.
It was the only chance we had, and believe me, I'm good at chances. I gamble for a living, remember? That's how I've stayed alive all these years after leaving the gardens.
Well, this time it didn't pan out. Look at you now.
You think I'm giving up?
Well, lucky us, right? I hope we are lucky in getting in there. So we're through the big door now.
Do you see that? The dim glow.
The activation of the door must have triggered a chemiluminescent. Not uncommon for evacuation purposes.
It looks nice though. So do we go left or right? Or straight up? There's another big ass door here. I guess it will stay closed until we do something to it. Yep, okay. So right is always right. But sometimes the left way is the right way. So let's go left now, which would have been right before. If you can catch my drift.
This place is huge. This hallway alone could easily house all the resourceful that ever were.
You finding anything here without coordinates would be a miracle. I compared the quarters you're in now with the overall structure of the planet. The palace is everywhere, all the way to the core. Huge sectors separated by the outside structures you were in.
Well, that makes us even more lucky that we found the entrance, didn't we? I mean, what are the chances? Of course, there can be separate and different and many entrances, but still finding one should be pretty hard.